Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lecture, we'll learn hierarchical inheritance in Python. Let's first understand what hierarchical inheritance means with a real-world example. Imagine a central government agency. Let's call it Person Authority. This authority defines some standard personal information like name and ID for all types of people. Now under this authority, we have two branches. One is for students, the other for teachers. Both students and teachers are still people. They share the common personal data like name and ID, but they also have their unique attributes. Students have grades, teachers have subjects. So we define all shared behavior in a parent class called person. Then we create two child classes, student and teacher, which both inherit from the same parent class. This structure with one parent and multiple child classes is called hierarchical inheritance. So in hierarchical inheritance, multiple child classes inherit from a single parent class, allowing for shared behavior across subclasses with unique attributes. Let's now move to PyCharm and build this step by step. Right-click on the OOP folder, choose New and select Python file. Let's name it hierarchical_inheritance. Let's define the top level class called person. Let's type class keyword followed by person, then colon. Inside the class, we define the constructor. We write def _init_. Inside parentheses, self, name and ID. Now within the constructor body, self.name equals name, self.id equals ID. This sets up the shared data for any type of person. Let's also add a method to display this common info. We define def display_info with self in parentheses. Inside this method, print name : self.name. Print id : self.id. Perfect. Our person class is ready with shared attributes and one common method. Now we create a new class called student that inherits from person. We type class student and inside parentheses write person, then colon. Inside student, we define a constructor. We type def init with self, name, ID and grade. Now instead of repeating the logic for name and ID, we call the parent constructor using super. We write super.init and pass name and ID. Then we define self.grade equals grade. Let's add a method to show the student's grade. We write def display_grade with self. Inside the method, print grade : self.grade. Great, our student class now has both inherited and its own unique behavior. Now we define a second child class, teacher, which also inherits from person. We write class teacher with person in parentheses, then colon. Inside, define the constructor with self, name, ID and subject. Call the parent's constructor using super.init with name and ID. Then add self.subject equals subject. We define a method to display the subject, def display_subject with self inside, print subject : self.subject. Awesome. We now have one parent class and two child classes, both getting data from the same parent. Let's create one student object. Student1 equals student with name as Aman, ID as 101, grade as 10th. And one teacher object. Teacher1 equals teacher with name as Mrs. Meena, ID as 201 and subject as science. Now we call methods on both. For student, call displayInfo, then display grade. For teacher, call displayInfo, then display subject. Let's now run the program and see the output. You'll see, for the student, name Aman, ID 101, grade 10th. For the teacher, name Mrs. Meena, ID 201, subject science. And that's it. This is a perfect demonstration of hierarchical inheritance in Python. One parent class, multiple child classes, each extending and customizing their own behavior. Use this structure whenever you have different types of entities that share something in common but also need their own fields or logic. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.